again. Have no fear.
At my word, they'll be at each other's throats before dinner. What else would you expect?
I ought to go and see Rosa when I'm in town. No doubt she'd like to know how it went with that book.
Yeah. See if we can't finish this main. At least this little bit of.
Slowly. Nice and slow.
You almost ran me over.
Hey! You nearly ran into me! Christ won't! You'll learn that the church is rotten. Hear what Master Young...
Don't you see I'm hey! Here? Are you trying to kill me?
Whoa, whoa. Going to see the Mint Master. May I enter?
Any fool could say that. What do you want from him?
I have an appointment with him.
All right, go ahead then. But don't waste too much of his time.
Okay. What you got up here? Huh. Anything good? Hmm? Anything you feel like getting rid of? Take
Glad
those
to
up.
see you again.
You have the gall to show me your face again? I'll call the guards.
Hold your horses. I'll come in peace. Actually, I have a little offer for you.
You've come to blackmail me again?
Call it what you
Yes,
like.
if you call the guard.
I need to get into the City Council Assembly. And I reckon you can help me.
The assembly? The one King Sigismund is supposed to attend in person?
No, Sigismund's just a usurper. Wenceslas is the only true Bohemian king.
Singing Ruthard's song, eh? I might have known. Speak then. What do you want? And tell the truth.
I want to know what Sigismund tells the council. I hear it'll be important.
You want to spy? Do you know what you're risking? And what I'd be risking? Forget it.
Have you forgotten I have you over a barrel? If you want to keep your position and your head on your shoulders, you better shape up.
All right, all right. Maybe we can make a deal. If I get you into the council, you'll behave appropriately and you won't betray yourself, or especially me. And that will be the end of our business together.
I must have misheard you. Our business will be over when I say it is, not before. So pull your head out your ass and see to getting me into that assembly.
All right, Jesus. No need to lose your temper. You can get into the council assembly relatively easily. My cook's son will be serving there. He's roughly around your age. Maybe he can be persuaded to let you stand in for him. Although, not everyone would want to give up an opportunity to serve the King of Hungary.
Who's this boy?
Franta's his name. Franta Cooldown. He's an idler and a boozer, but he's proved his worth as a waiter. Which reminds me, you'll need his letter of permission to serve in the council. Otherwise, you won't be let inside.
What will I need to work as a waiter there?
Fast feet and good manners. And the livery of a royal waiter.
Excuse me?
Do you think you can serve the king in a torn shirt and muddy hose?
Well, no. But I never heard about any livery before.
Our usual waiter had a brand new livery made specially for meeting the king. Don't even show up there without it.
What would work on?
Would you like...
Where can I...
You suppose that is...
At the what?
That German...
I'll be going then.
Just...
I'm sorry.
Welcome, welcome.
God bless.
What is it? Are you whistling just for fun?
say, that's not my horse.
Easy, good horse.
That's not my horse. Just saying.
Hey, you nearly ran into me.
Don't you know how to keep your horse under control?
No. No, I don't.
Whoa!
Welcome. I'll be right with you. Thank you. And a good day to you, friend.
Just get the corner over here.
I'm sorry.
Remember him? He's got a lot of growth to
Fresh
spend.
cabbage flatbread.
Here it is.
Take your pick. All I hope you'll be satisfied, my friend.
I went... Good, excuse me.
Okay.
Das war ein gutes Geschäft. Auf Wiedersehen.
Let's go.
To do then? You should go and see the priest. Nobody else can help you. Oh.
Where is this?
Not too bad.
guy?
But I've got so...
Maybe, because I don't think he'll be able to solve my problem.
A fine day for some fine wares. Come and take a look. Quality good. I apologize. Apples. Juicy.
You could buy a cart and a pair of horses. And you tell me you don't have the goods? Someone stole them.
Right here from my trunk. I don't know how it happened.
If you don't give me something right away that I can wear to that banquet, I'll turn your place into a broken woodshed and your face into a flatbread. Understand?
I might have something here. Can I help you?
Good day to
Oh,
you.
well.
You must be Franta Cooldown.
I am. And who might you be?
I'm Henry. I heard you're supposed to serve at the City Council Assembly.
I am. What's it to you?
Supposing I took the job on for you. You can put your feet up, fill your belly, and I'll do all the work for you.
Look here. It's not like I'm all that keen on it, but it's well paid. Apart from that, it's a bit of a pain in the arse. Them councillors stuffing their faces and guzzling wine, while I run around like a bugger with pitchers so they don't run dry. Why would you want to stick your nose in there?
I just have to get in there, understand? I have an important message for the king about a plot against him.
But why would you want to get to him as a waiter?
But it could be that someone from the council is mixed up in it, so I have to be incognito. See?
I see. All right, then. To begin with,
Of
you'll need
course.
confirmation that you've worked as a waiter at the council and you're capable of serving even His Majesty. Look here. Do you have any idea what's expected of you? Can you tell different wines apart and that?
Obviously.
Of course. Who do you take me for?
All right. No need to get upset. Show the confirmation to the head butler. Tell him I sent you and think up some good excuse. Clear?
That makes sense.
And you'll need a waiter's livery. I had a brand new one made. Here it is. I look like a prick in it. Hopefully it'll sit better on you. The main thing is, don't lose it before the assembly or get it covered in shit.
Thanks. I won't disgrace you, I promise.
You'd better not. See you soon, my friend.
Let us not disgrace him. This is over here, huh? Excuse me. Come here, Lucy. Let's get my naked suit. Here's nothing equipped. Okay. Gotta be able to put a look here, alright. Should be okay here.
Christ, pardon me.
One of these things.
Greetings to you. Well, good day.
Let's see if we can get it done.
Excuse
Come and
me.
take a look. Quality good. Well, I fell asleep.
I feel like we're lagging a little there. What you got?
Franta Cooldown sent me. I'm to stand in for him at the council assembly.
Franta's not coming? What's wrong with it?
He died.
He crippled his leg. He can't even stand up. Never mind serve guests.
Is it serious?
Yes.
That's all we need. Having to find a new waiter.
No, it won't come to that. It just looks like a twisted ankle. A few days, and he'll be right as rain.
All right. Well, I suppose we'll just have to manage with you for today. We can't be without a waiter here, when the king himself will need waiting on. So, let's have a look at you. Have you got Franta's certificate?
Sure. Here it is.
Everything's in order. Now, about your livery. You've got a waiter's cap, a tunic you have. Hose are good. You can put your steel aside in front of the council chamber, along with your other stuff. You won't be needing it anyway. You don't want to be dragging a load if you're running around tables. Everything as it should be. Glad to see it, lad. Do you know what your duties are? For an inexperienced greenhorn like you, it'll be a great responsibility.
I'm no greenhorn. I have plenty of experience. Not long ago, I poured wine for the Archbishop of Mainz.
Oh, I see. Forgive me. But allow me to give you one piece of advice. Sir Adam of Zarjitz will be among the guests. Don't pour wine for him. Otherwise he'll get drunk and disgrace us all in front of the king. And in general, a good waiter has to be invisible,
I should probably get
blind,
that guy drunk
and
then.
deaf.
Oh? I thought I had to keep my ears pricked.
Well, yes, but only to what anyone wants from you. No excuses, and provide everything that anyone wants from you. Understood?
Except for that one guy.
Absolutely. I'm a waiter, after all. Not some street gossip monger.
Correct. And if you manage not to botch it up, you can even rise on the social ladder. Not just anyone can serve the King of Hungary, but you'll manage it, right?
I know everything I need to. I can do it.
Excellent. Put away your things here. It's easier to serve with a lighter load. You can wait in the cubbyhole for the servants.
Try to steal some stuff over in here. That would be nice. Can I save? It just saved. Nice.
Unversüchlich.
Hold on 1 second.
Current Waffenarsenal is a joke, and on top of that, the army was requisitioning from it. Should the town reserve have worse weapons than any Räuber in the domain?
What are you getting at, Eldris?
Boy, I'd like
I'm
some white.
saying that the bandits who freed Hinnick, the Dry Devil, used that thing. That Hackenbücher. Hand cannon. Can you believe it? Where
I
did they
apologize,
get
sir.
You're
Which
the
one?
Who should know where they got
White.
Since
Are you
you're
deaf?
a gunsmith.
What are you implying, Friedrich? All I'm saying is that they had them, Herrgott. It is eine Schande when outlaws have better weapons than
sir.
the city garrison. And Herr König surely knows this
Thank
too.
you, waiter.
What is it, Eldris? You smell a deal?
What I smell is that your stubborn heads do not realize what Schwierigkeiten this is. The Dry Devil is running free. There are Raubritter everywhere in the region. We have the army bearing down, and you want to defend yourselves with a few rusty halberds.
And who is it you want to fight, exactly?
Waiter, get me white.
Merciful King Sigismund is providing us with protection, isn't he?
Der König and his army will not be here forever.
Shut up! The king can arrive at any moment. What if he heard you?
What then?
Well,
We're
thank
sitting
the
atop
Lord.
the biggest silver heap in the kingdom, and we're supposed to defend it with brooms?
You're right, Eldris. But where can we get the coin for better equipment?
We can always confiscate the property of the king's enemies, nicht wahr?
We are more than familiar with the Yem... state of our armory, and the king is surely aware of it as well.
Hey, waiter,
Maybe
pour me some
if he
monastery
waived
wine.
some of the taxes.
The king fears that this town will rise against him. He'll take the arming of the city's militia as a preparation for war.
So you suggest we just wait with arms crossed for the Raubritter
Monastery wine
to
here.
wreak havoc all
Sorry?
around?
We can always ask the king to bring order to the realm
Well,
with his army.
thank the
But
Lord.
then the Dörfler will rise up.
I'm afraid I see no solution of the current situation. We shall wait and see what His Majesty thinks about the matter. Maybe we can change his mind. Vielleicht?
I'd like to report to the Honorable Council on the cleanliness of the city and the state of the public baths.
You mean baths or
Come
brothels?
here, friend, and bring that red with you.
Isn't it the same thing?
So, the cleanliness of the city is
Sorry?
not what it should be. The current baths in the city fall far short, covering citizens' needs.
Right, you're a sneaky devil. But a woman named Betty has showed up on Hopbrink and wants to repair the baths that used to be there.
She's a protege of Marish.
More wine, Master Bailiff?
Commendable,
I have
but
enough
I don't
wine.
think
Come
she's-
closer. I need something from you. There is an item in my study that I confiscated from a female thief. She thought she could wriggle out of it by telling me who the item belongs to.
And what is it?
A silver goblet. She sneaked into Sir Ulrich's house and stole it. No one's noticed the theft yet. But if Ulrich finds out, he'll turn the city upside down to find the culprit. Go and get it. And don't you make a mess there, understand?
Yeah, okay.
Certainly, sir. I'll be right back.
Come back with it straight away, understood?
A great many people died needlessly.
Are you questioning God's plan? The Black
Supposed to
Death
serve
has
the
nothing
wine,
to do
not
with the
go wandering
baths,
around the building
unless
with
the
it.
Lord wishes to punish the wickedness that's going on in there.
BRB.
Even the city king is arguing about who is going to wash where in town.
It's only a waste of time because we're always arguing about the same thing.
Not at all. If you finally admit that it's a trifle, we wouldn't have to keep coming back to it.
A trifle. Do you ever walk the streets here? Sewage, rats, slop, and rubbish. The least we can do for the citizens is to provide them with a place to wash up.
What nonsense! Next, you'll want me to serve wine to everyone for free, too.
Why not?
Nice.
In Jerome
Whose
Nas's
silver might
earthly
this be?
paradise, everything would be free.
Don't put words in my mouth.
Gentlemen, let's agree to disagree. What if the king says?
So, did you find it?
It was like right there, bro.
I did, Master Bailiff. Here it is.
Not so loud. Show it here. That's it. And now go back to your job.
I got word that Rutard has pulled up another deed.
That's nothing unusual. That old weasel will never accept that the city isn't run his way. At least until His Majesty honors us with his visit. And as we know, Kungslin absolutely hates him.
I give up.
He can hate all he wants.
I apologize,
as long as he
sir.
does no damage.
Which wine?
Ulrich, what have you got to say about it?
I got it right here.
Well,
Sir?
sure what you're implying.
Horseshit! You know full well. Everybody knows. He wiped the floor with you.
Compose yourself, Adam, and stop drinking. The king might come any time
Waiter,
now.
That's
pour
right.
me red wine.
Let's not burden the anointed monarch with such...
Me? Compose myself? Me? I beg your pardon. I demand that you...
Waiter,
I wanted monastery wine.
Please continue.
I'm speaking
you,
about
waiter.
the Rutard incident. You were there, weren't you?
Oh, that. Just a small misunderstanding. We've sorted it out and everything's settled.
My ears must be deceiving me. Are you defending Rutard? Besides, if his men attacked yours, as I've heard, then we have a good reason to punish him.
What happened there? Leave nothing out.
I don't like Rutard.
You there,
True,
lad.
but in this
A
case,
cup of bread.
it really was
And
nothing.
don't you skimp on me.
Everyone in the city gossiped about it.
Sir?
I heard there were several dead.
Did you? That's
Well,
grossly
thank the Lord.
exaggerated. I don't think Rutard will cause any trouble. He is sensible enough not to draw attention to himself while the king is here.
That's true. Because if we don't do something about him, the king himself will put an end to him, and soon.
Unless he puts an end to us first. God knows what he wants to tell us.
If nothing happened, there's no point in dwelling on it. Let's move on.
Okay. Everyone good?
Boy, I'd like
Things
some
have
white.
got out of order in the town.
I bet you will.
Some adventurers decided to take the law into their own hands and restore the
Smash 'em
tradition
over
of
here.
duels. It's not only barbaric, but also illegal.
I apologize,
If we
sir.
tolerate this,
Which wine?
the rabble
White
in the
took
city
I.
will go wild and do whatever they want.
I'm gonna
I
keep asking.
suspect the gentlemen
Sir?
from the city's sword fighting
Should
school
get
brought
mine
this
anyway.
custom to us.
Don't
It's
hang
now
around
run
me.
by the
Vanish,
German
you hear me?
Menard. Who knows who that
What's wrong?
Don't be ridiculous.
Are you afraid everything will come out?
You act like you've
I've
never
no
been in a
idea what
fight
you're
yourself.
talking about.
And
Keep
to
to our
accuse
agreement.
a
Go!
swordsmaster without a shred of proof. We're not
We'll
some
see
old
about that.
fishwives in the marketplace.
So you will just leave it be?
Proven offences.
Everything
are
in order?
punished by the
Not
faith.
quite,
And that's
but I think you might be able to help
there
me.
are more
Come
pressing
here!
matters.
What can I help you with, sir?
I left my gloves in the chapel. I took them off to pray, but then I
think
rushed
I saw
here
them.
and forgot to take them. I can't just get up and walk out now. But if you disappear for a little while,
All right. I'll get them.
I knew I could count on you. While you're at it, count how many figures on the mural have wings.
But why?
Because I'm bored, and because I told you. Get on with it.
Let people throw dirt on our work?
If I threw out everyone who complains over a beer, I'd soon be out of customers.
Ah,
I can't leave here with the wine.
we'll never get anywhere like this. We waste our time.
That was easy enough. And he wanted me to count the winged figures.
So, let's see what you've
Yeah,
got
I'm
for
not
me.
counting that.
I found your gloves, sir.
Really? Let's see them. And did you count those winged figures?
I counted 32, sir.
That many? It seems a few more angels must have descended from heaven. For a royal waiter, you don't have much of a knack for counting.
You
Yes, the eternal dispute over the cathedrals. The building of the church is dragging on, and in the meantime, they are calling diocesan pilgrimages to settlers. Right
Close
under
on
our
these doors,
noses.
okay. Jesus.
Just the village with the monastery.
There's the barn.
And they
Oh,
are going
privacy.
to make a royal mining city. Why can't we build faster?
Pretty
Hey,
important meeting.
waiter!
Hire more craftsmen.
Pour me
Start with
some
night
coffee.
shifts.
Because
What did
those
he say?
so-called craftsmen are
I apologize, sir. Which wine?
Tokai! White. They come late.
I know.
Or report sick.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
if they do come, their work is shit, and you have to pay someone else to put it right. It's a waste
Sir?
of time. I tell you, a waste of time.
Adam, don't interrupt the proceedings with your drunken ranting, even if you are in the right. And as for you, haven't you noticed there's a war going on? Are the experts from far off supposed to work in the city under siege?
Besides, I get the feeling there's something other than the welfare of the city behind your complaints.
I'm sorry.
Are you do you? And what
Hey,
would
boy.
that be?
A full cup of monastery wine.
That you'd like to have your own altar there?
So what if I
That's red.
Hold your horses, gentlemen.
Monastery is red.
That space in the side nave is mine.
Then hell freezes over, my friend.
I can't even remember.
Your place is
Wait,
at least
sir.
2 steps
I
behind
want good
mine.
monastery wine.
That's fine.
Dares to insult me? Ha!
Good.
I think not.
Mercy, counselors. We are not on the marketplace to argue like fishwives. The construction of the cathedral is proceeding slowly, and as Jerome says, there is a war, and there is neither
You there,
money nor
lad,
craftsmen.
a cup of red,
With our
and don't
joint
you skip
powers,
on me.
we will finish the
Sir?
building to the glory of God and our city, even if it takes 100 years. What is next in the order of business?
Cool. Okay. Doing great, Henry. You're doing great.
I'm telling you, something is being planned.
Oh, I doubt it. No one's going to tackle Rootard.
Boy. 6
Azonal Küçek Össe, Elegiop Katonaikat, Şkelkinek Utra.
Nice boots. You guys really not gonna recognize him. Maybe not, Tense. I was gonna say, Phil the company. Get to work. Busboy. Waiter. I say that guy's definitely doesn't recognize me.
You have nothing to fear. Not you.
That's a shirt.
Unlike this man of fights!
Now we gotta kill him. Okay. Alright. Grab your Red Bull. Coffee. Tea. Salad. Oh, back here. Oh, I know. Oh, I gotta be this guy again?
Come now, Father. Put a little life into your dying.
Take it, idea.
Seen more cheerful priests at funerals.
I'd rather be at one than here. I hoped I'd never see this fortress again in my life.
Unpleasant memories?
You have no idea. I didn't part ways with my father on entirely good terms. 20 years ago.
And now you're 2 decades older and wiser. At your Ujit's parish.
You spread the word of God to your flock, and you saved my neck and Henry's too. I'd say your father should be proud of you.
None of that matters a damn to him.
Who knows? Maybe that 20 years has changed a thing or two.
You know what? Let's drop the subject.
Oh, Hans. You're such a kind fellow. Sometimes.
Who's that French fellow you brought here from Malashov?
The great Baron Brabant. Been everywhere, knows everything, and has the keys to half the kingdom. He's got more fairy tales than my old nanny.
Can he be trusted?
He's a blabbermouth, but a harmless one. Besides, he defended Kuttenberg, and you know how that went. If he were on Sigismund's side, he'd hardly have been locked up with me.
Do you know any of the guests here?
Most of them I'm seeing for the first time in my life. It's a pretty varied company. We've had bandits, nobles, burghers, a priest, and even a rabbi coming together here.
Could go for a burger.
It's like the start of some joke.
Wait a moment. Rabbi, you say? The Kuttenberg rabbi?
Yeah. He came with a retinue. But for now, they're keeping mostly to themselves. Maybe you should go and welcome some of them. After all, this used to be your home. And you're a spiritual man too, so you should have something in common.
I wouldn't be too sure. But I suppose I can try. How does it feel to breathe free air again?
What can I say? You can never truly appreciate freedom until someone locks you up for a while.
Or until you become a priest.
No fear of that in my case. I intend to enjoy life to the full. Wine, women, and song.
Well, me only.
What do you plan to do now you're a free man again?
What do you think? Get drunk, woo one of the local wenches, and wake up in the morning with no hose and a head like a church bell.
Have you perchance forgotten we're supposed to be deciding the future of the kingdom here?
I'll leave that to the older and wiser. And duller.
Dear me. I'd rather creep off into some corner with a full wineskin. But I suppose I'll have to introduce myself to the rest of the guests, eh?
Indeed you should. After all, you are one of the lords of Rabosh.
Oh, don't start with that. I'd like to steer clear of the old man as long as I can.
In that case, you should sound out Radzig and Hanush and find out what they're actually planning.
Interesting. Pick up. Can I just have some stuff?
I'm glad you finally accepted my invitation.
You look wealthy.
It's not that I didn't want to.
And what can I get for you?
My absence from the city council would have serious consequences.
I understand. I appreciate you coming here all the more.
Let's talk to other people here. Says you're the... Oh, no. So you're the French guy. I'll stand up here and talk to you. No, I can't. I said, can I talk to you? No.
Good health to you, sir. I'm Godwin. A friend of that lad you arrived with, Henry. We don't know each other.
Baron Vauquelin Brabant, Chevalier d'Arezzo. The last of my line. I am a warrior, a traveler, a strategist, and also, à ma manière, a poet.
My word. Isn't that exhausting?
Mais non! And I'm glad to meet a new friend.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Baron. I knew right away we'd hit it off.
How'd you know that?
How did you end up imprisoned in Malashov?
Ah, c'est une histoire compliquée. It was after I heroically led the defense of Kuttenberg, and only lost it narrowly by an unfortunate turn of events.
That needs some explanation. What unfortunate turn of events?
Oh, misère. It is clear you have never been to war.
You're quite mistaken, Monsieur Baron. I have.
Ah, je suis désolé. This Bohemia is a strange land. I have seen farmhands, children, and even women fighting. But the clergy? Sainte Mère, do tell me about it. No doubt you fought on the side of truth and honor.
My last big battle was in Kosovo.
I've heard of this battle. Many great men fell there.
Aye. And it was there I decided it was nothing for me. So I settled down in the presbytery in Ujits.
Then, what are you doing here, at a meeting of opponents of the crown?
The Lord moves in mysterious ways. Where have you been on your travels? Have you seen the ocean?
But of course! I was born by the sea. If you are interested in my greatest journeys, then I have traveled with a merchant caravan all the way to the Ottoman Empire. And if you are interested in my greatest deed, then that was perhaps saving the life of the King of France.
And you wouldn't by any chance know the Pope, personally?
Which one do you mean? I spoke briefly with Boniface IX when I was sojourning in Rome. A pleasant fellow.
You say you're a poet. How about a verse or two to amuse us?
Jamais. Is poetry nothing but a farce to you? Is a poet a gesture for amusement? I think not. To recite, I require the proper mood. And besides, few here would understand me.
How come almost nobody here knows you?
I am operating, as they say. Incognito. My great benefit is my strong connection with the French court. There, everyone knows my name. Here in Bohemia, I'm still building my reputation, slowly, but surely.
Okay.
Mark my words, they'll be at each other's throats before dinner.
Hey, you. I know you. I know you.
Such rare guests. One wouldn't expect to find among Christians representatives of your community. I'm Godwin. My greetings to you.
Peace be with you. Neither would one expect a priest here. And yet...
How do you know I'm a priest?
It's not difficult to tell. After all, we have much in common. And we are both a little on unfamiliar ground here. I'm Yehuda, leader of the rabbinical court in the sacred community of Gutenberg. And this is Samuel, my aide.
Who would rather not be here at all. Why did we have to come here, Sadie? Can you not see everyone is staring at us?
Samuel.
Because we all need to help each other in this time of need. And why would they not stare when you are frowning so?
Are you looking for friends among us?
Let us say rather that we have chosen a side. The situation in the town and the kingdom is unsustainable. The whole land is on the brink of destruction. You have men and weapons. We have the means to sustain them.
Why are you telling this to a Koimer? You wanted to deliver what we brought to the Margrave and quickly leave.
Everything in good time, Samuel. We have just arrived, after all.
Did you come to lend money to the lords?
Not to lend, but to give. Help given to the needy is repaid only by God.
You don't even know if you can trust them. With that money, we could have paid mercenaries ourselves.
You remind me of my young friend Henry. He's a bit of a hothead too.
Henry? That messenger of Radzik Copula.
You know each other. You're both around the same age.
That would be him. But we did not get off to a very good start.
I reckon the two of you would hit it off. He's reliable and has his heart in the right place. For a young stripling, he's been through plenty. It's not so long since his parents were killed in Skalitz. He was supposed to become a blacksmith, and instead, he's roaming the world, risking his neck at every turn.
Wait, a blacksmith, you say? From Skalitz?
Aye, that's right. Did you know anyone there?
I knew of someone. A blacksmith by the name of Martin.
My daughter knew him most, and that is why Samuel is in this world. For our numerous sins.
Maybe he was my father, but he certainly didn't act like one. Ma raised me on her own.
And that was all for the best.
Why? He should have taken care of me, but instead he fathered another bastard.
Don't make hasty judgments. As far as I know, Martin didn't have any other children. At least, none of his own. He took in Henry, and raised him as his own, on the orders of the Lord of Skalitz, Sir Radzik Kobila, Henry's real father.
I don't care if he took care of 20 other Mamsas.
That boy's blood father denied him, just like yours did to you.
A person can't choose their parents. And Henry only found out about it recently.
Enough. I'd rather have a drink. Will you have one too,
This guy's salty.
For that, there will be more suitable times.
Maybe Henry will just kill him. Hell yeah.
Good health.
What a priest.
L'chaim.
L'chaim. Cutscene really.
Dear friends and allies, in these troublesome times, you all know why we're here. The question remains, what to do next? Sigismund is facing troubles in Hungary, and here, too, he is up against resistance. He's a capable strategist, but a poor diplomat. Mark my words. If we wait him out until winter, he will leave of his own accord.
By winter, he'll have torched all our fortresses and carried off everything that we possess.
Are we seriously gonna wait and cower in a corner? Or are we gonna drive them out in shame? A few well-planned raids and we could have him in our fists!
At what price? Have you got men to spare? Has any of you got men and money to spare?
We don't have men out there.
Yes, we do.
We do not.
Jobst is right. That whole sun won't fall easily.
Only we can't wait.
Are we to get ourselves killed?
Or end with nothing?
Friends, we'll get nowhere like this. Let's adjourn ourselves and try to think it through.
Well, that went just as expected. Good health.
And to yours. Could it have gone any other way when there's so many of us here?
I would have expected a bit more sense from Jobst, of all people. He made an amateur's mistake. But it's hard to be angry with him when he's trying to ingratiate himself with everyone. By the way, I'm John of Liechtenstein. And you must be Godwin, the son of...
That's not a thing I've ever boasted of. How do you know that?
I have my sources. From what I've heard about you, I'd judge you could be quite useful to me at today's gathering.
Is that so?
Indeed. And that's why I'd like to ask something of you.
It depends what it's all about.
A little delicate diplomacy. I expect we can agree that Jobst's plan has certain shortcomings?
That's a weak word.
And the way it stands at the moment, he'll never get the support of the council. But I have an idea how to change that.
Well, I'm curious how you hope to shut Zizka up and satisfy the ones who want peace.
We'll sit and wait quietly until Sigismund withdraws of his own volition, as Jobs proposes, but we'll be waiting in the military camp of our huge new army.
When Sigismund sees that, he'll be off to Hungary all the sooner. At a gallop.
Exactly. Sigismund's army is demoralized and weakened. And besides, he's running out of resources. He's able to tackle fortresses that aren't able to defend themselves, but he won't engage an equal force on the battlefield.
But he can't retreat either. That would be a disgrace.
And that's exactly why we'll wait until he's called back to Hungary by events there. For the plan to work, we need allies, their money and their determination. We've already set the ground for it. We just need negotiators who will push the right people in the right direction.
Are you saying you set everything in motion even before Jobst?
More like in parallel, but without his knowledge. If we find support and make it look like the whole thing was his idea, we'll all win.
Huh.
You've got an interesting way of approaching things.
You're certainly not the first to tell me that. I take it as a compliment.
Why are you doing all this anyway?
Because I want to put a stop to the senseless deaths. And also because I'm happier with Wenceslas on the Bohemian throne.
I'll help you. What exactly should I do?
I'll give you 3 names. Botchek of Kunstadt, Haman Alder, and Anna of Waldstein. If you can get those 3 on our side, we've won the day. Meanwhile, I'll take care of Jobst.
Okay.
What if it doesn't work?
I refuse to even consider that outcome. Because it would mean slow, but certain defeat for all of us.
Why me, of all people?
Because you've got a head on your shoulders. You know how to talk, and you're not just out for your own good. You and your friend Henry are similar in that respect. That's why I know I can count on you both. There aren't many like you two left.
All right.
Tell me a bit more about those people, so I know who I'm dealing with.
Certainly. Who do you want to start with?
Botchek of Kunststadt. I know the name, but I can't quite place him.
That's just the thing. He's got massive estates, great influence, but he holds back. He doesn't play the big game, because he doesn't like to take risks. He always goes for the sure thing. But once he's made his mind up, not even a pair of oxen will hold him back.
Botchek of...
That's just... He doesn't play... He always...
Alder the Alderman. Wasn't he a Kuttenberg councillor?
He still is. The only one who retained his position after the city was taken. Only he's here, instead of cozying up with Sigismund in Kuttenberg. So his days in the council are numbered. But he'll continue to have a strong influence on the guilds and the rich burghers. And that's why we need him.
Anna of Waldstein. The widow of that rich mine owner. What was his name?
Wenzel Bartosz. And I'm not surprised you forgot.
I was quite surprised to see her here. Assemblies like this are more of a...
A male affair? So far, Godwin, so far. Anna is holding back and behaving like an exemplary young widow. But don't trust appearances. She's got claws, she knows how to do her sums, and she certainly has no love lost for Sigismund.
And what use can she be to us? Apart from her late husband's money, of course.
She's as sharp as they come when it comes to trade. And she knows a thing or two about diplomacy. There are wicked tongues that claim Bartosz acquired most of his wealth thanks to her. And that it was thanks to her that he died, too.
I'll get on it then. Wish me luck.
I wish us both luck. Before the day is over, the die will be cast.
Success to our plans.
tell you, nobody has the likes of these.
Not even Bocek?
Not...
I'd like to check your horses out and see if they're as good as you say.
Pah, even better. But you won't believe it until you see for yourself.
And you might not believe your eyes when you do see them. Well, well, we have a new guest.
I wanted to...
You wanted to apologize for crashing into my home without it by your leave. Or to arrest my guests some more?
I want to have a word with Older.
Well, I'm having a word with you.
I apologize, Father.
For interrupting our conversation? Or just for being you?
Is that your...
Unfortunately. Speak up then. What are you doing here?
We'll talk later and in private. Right now we have more important things to attend to.
Don't try my patience.
Why so strict, Martin?
20 years ago, he was nothing but a cheeky brat, only interested in wenches and booze. I got him a place at the Archbishopric to have some sense beaten into his head. Only it wasn't long before they kicked him out. And then I find out he's settled in some backwater parish in Sassau. But he took his boozing and whoring along with him, lost everything, and then came creeping home again. Huh?
Try saying it again a little louder. They might not have heard you in the outer courtyard.
You have the impertinence to show me your face after the way you disgraced our whole family?
Oh, well. Things are not going good.
I wouldn't set foot here if I had a choice. Better to be a priest in some backwater than have a father like you.
How dare you?
Oh,
You're as shit a father as I am a son. We've got nothing to blame each other for. And now let me speak to Older.
You're dishonoring your host.
I can't dishonor someone who has no honor. If you had any, you'd be...
That's enough.
Christopher.
You won't get away with those insults. I challenge you to a duel.
Oh my, have mercy. Okay. Whatever.
I'm not happy about it, but I accept.
I'm a little happy
This
about
isn't how I imagined my first meeting with my brother.
Make room for us. We'll just settle a very private matter. It's an honorable duel, man against man. Stay back.
Yeah. Firm. Otherwise, the first strike will put you on your arse.
That was sneaky.
Left arm lower. Look in my eyes, not at my sword. Swing with your whole arm, not just your wrist. Back up. What's wrong with your legs? You don't know which end of that thing is up. Smile, you fuck, while you've still got teeth.
Do they teach you that in the seminary?
Cover your right side. You've got a gap there I can drive a cart through.
Not bad for a priest. Enough! That will do. My God. Where did you learn to wield a sword like that? Father always said you were a good-for-nothing boozer. That you could teach sword fighting in a school.
I was in a war. Right after they kicked me out of the Archbishopric. And you ought to know yourself. Not all the faults that Father sees are real.
Aye. Well, I apologize for going off like that. I had
You're on our
to,
side
that...
now, buddy.
So Father would be satisfied. I know. Only he'll never be satisfied.
The sooner you realize that, the better.
I thought he was the way he was because his first son let him down. And he hoped at least his second would become something.
And no luck again, eh? When I was 6 years old, I fell off a horse and broke my leg. He wouldn't talk to me for a week because I'd let him down.
The first time he took me hunting, he let me starve for 3 days until I was able to shoot my first hare.
Jesus.
Only 3 days. He got soft.
I always wondered who you were. There was never much talk about you at home.
Look, I really did fuck up everything I could. I brawled and boozed until they threw me out of my own parish. But now, I have a chance to put things to rights a little.
And that's why you want to talk to Alder.
I don't know. We better trust in this guy. I mean, he is my brother. Yeah, I think he's on our side, so let's tell him.
I've got to get him on our side and to cooperate with us.
Aren't we all on the same side?
Maybe everyone's saying that. But it's time to put it into action.
After your encounter with Father, it won't be easy to get to Alder. Actually, I don't think you should even attempt it. Unless you want to anger Father even more.
What else can I do, though?
I'll talk to him myself. He'll hear me out for sure.
About Father
But
in
you'll
a
have
duel
to
to the
trust
death
me
after.
and tell me what it's all about.
All right, then. You've heard Yob's plan, right? It's a nice idea, but we can't wait around without an army to back us up.
Only no one's going to pay for one, because that would be an outright admission of rebelling against Sigismund.
Alder's got some clout with the councillors and burghers who are loyal to Sigismund. If he agrees, they'll follow.
I expect Alder's not the only one you're after.
You got that right.
Leave Alder to me. The plan sounds sensible, and he's no fool.
I don't know how to thank you.
You can drag me to a tavern sometime. Pa doesn't need to know about it.
You're starting to sound like a brother.
Ah, look at that stud. I thought it was stolen. To get blood on it though. Kinda messed him up a little bit, huh? Is there a thing to clean up here? No? Nothing? No groovy? Where are we gonna go? There's a bed? Oh my god. How long am I gonna be playing this guy? Alright. Where are you gonna go? Alright, so it's like this way, I guess. Right.
That's exactly why we mustn't push too hard.
Burgers, patricians, and usurers. They're without honor.
We're trying to forge an alliance against our common enemy.
Good day to you.
Oh, Jace.
They...
Sir Bocek, I need to speak with you for a moment.
A man hardly puts his cup to his lips, and someone comes along to put a flea in his ear. Yobs comes up with a plan as full of holes as a beggar's shoes, and now you're all jostling to win me over for him.
On the contrary, I've come here with an idea how to improve it.
Does that improvement include a few thousand men-at-arms? If not, you can go to the devil with it.
We've got a
A
better
few thousand
plan.
men-at-arms as a convincing argument. And 100 horsemen on top. Only in order to get them, we need coin.
You've got my attention, but not my money yet.
How can I persuade you?
I need guarantees of security. I don't want to end up like Rutard.
I'll send Henry.
Of course.
Once it comes to protecting property, ideals go out the window.
You can talk, since you haven't got a pot to piss in yourself. If you were in my position, you'd think differently. I have a lot of property, lots of subjects to look after, and along with that, the Lord blessed me with a large family. I can't risk it all in a conflict with Sigismund.
So you need guarantees that you won't be left standing in the cold if you openly oppose Sigismund.
My guarantee is called Yitka. She's my niece. If I succeeded in marrying her off to another strong house, I'll have the certainty that I won't be left alone.
Maybe it's enough to find a suitable groom among the allies.
Perhaps someone of suitable standing who Yitka would also gladly accept. I don't want her to be unhappy.
I believe Liechtenstein is single.
And an uncertain party. Besides, he's inconvenient for Sigismund. Yitka could end up being a pawn to blackmail both of us.
I don't know. But me? It's probably my, like, child's age.
How about young Lord Capon?
He's a youngster still.
What's wrong with him? He's young, he's handsome, women are fighting over him. Yitka will like him, and he'll give her a whole bunch of children.
And to half the wenches in his domain too, eh? On the other hand, the lords of Lipa have a good reputation, and Hanush can always be relied on despite his temper. Maybe it's not such a bad idea.
So, will you support our plan?
You're selling the skin of a boar that's still grunting. First, I want a confirmation that the wedding will take place as soon as possible.
I just set Lord Capon.
What if Lord Capon refuses?
I don't care what the young lord thinks. Hanush is the one to decide. If he agrees, I'll be happy to support your plan.
Pushing a friend to tie the knot to save the kingdom. Things have come to a pretty pass.
The kingdom will not forget his sacrifice. Now stop dilly-dallying.
What am I gonna do? Why am I setting up towards Capon? Could I have set myself up?
Take a look at that.
I wonder if it's... Let's see. Why not? Let's see if we... Let's get a... Get old... Godwin. What's his name? Godwin? Sorry. Terrible with names. Just terrible at remembering things. Quite honest with you. Alright, where are we now? We're gonna start back over. I start everything over again? Shit. We're gonna skip through some of this stuff. Oh gosh, sorry guys, wow. Went way far back.
Baron, I am a
I can't skip too much shit. Oh, there we go. If you missed any. Well, we'll skip it anyway.
It's a...
and on... this boy, do you tell me...
My...
Then...
Where...
But if you are, and if you...
And you wouldn't...
Which one?
How come...
I am up my grade. There?
You say you're...
Jamais. I think not.
She spends part of his money on food and wine. She acts all pious and sighs in church like she's moved by the sermon. But she should do some reading on intemperance.
You're confusing crime with sin, my friend. And when you get a taste of my wine, maybe you'll sin too.
Schön dich zu sehen, mein Freund.
get over with here.
Such I'm going.
Peace.
How do you?
It's and I'm and
Why did we have?
and why?
Do you want?
Not that the situation. You have whatever.
Did you
not?
You don't. You
Henry, that would be...
Or maybe very.
Wait, from Sky?
I
knew...
My
Mate,
and
don't. At least he took Henry.
I don't...
dead
Enough.
for
Good health.
L'chaim.
Alright guys, we're gonna skip this.
Mark.
Well, that
Went just as expected. Good health, and to yours.
Sorry for skipping.
Could it have gone any other way when there's so many? I would have expected. He made. By the way, it's not. I have from what I was that. Indeed. I expect. And the way it's well, we'll see, but we'll be waiting. When Sigismund sees that, he'll be exactly Sigismund. He's able to, but he can't, and that's for the plan to. We just need
dog married.
It's more like if we find some. You're so. Why? Because I want to, and I'll help you. I'll give you if you can get meanwhile. What if I refuse? Why? Because you and your there aren't.
Get any more reputation by doing
I'll
this.
get. I wish us. I'd rather.
No, thank you, sir. Reputation loss.
I'll tell you, nobody has the likes of these.
Not even Bocek?
Not even Bocek. He's a great lord.
That's hard to believe. Martin likes to exaggerate.
He was
Try to
talking
get
about
downstairs.
sorry nags even when they belong to someone else.
Look out!
Good. Okay.
Take a look at that. A
God, what are you doing to that? Oh my god. Murder.
He looks more like a wet hen to me.
It's quite unusual to see him cornered like this.
I'll bet my last groschen he's setting the stage.
Then ask the bailiff to do something.
There's a bed up there. It's pretty random. Where's the bed?
Hi, my legs aren't nearly swollen, but everything else has gone downhill.
Like what?
It's not my bed.
Hell, my shit. It's like my ass is on fire. I try to go just once every 3 days.
That sounds unpleasant. What did the apothecary say?
He gave me some ointment and a tincture, but he said it'd take at least a week to work.
May God be with you then. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy.
God bless. Jesus Christ.
Oh my god. Well. What a conversation. Alright guys. Can I just take this stuff? Yeah. Of course I can. Why can't we? Hello. Hello, Hans. I'm just gonna take some shit. Have some chicken leg? That'd be great. Thanks. Can I have some of that? Oh, bacon. Yeah. Yeah. Hey. Bro.
Sir, nor I until now. I am Sir Conrad, Lord of Wächter. And you are the heir to the Lord of Raborsch, are you not?
Used to be. My father somewhat disowned me some time ago.
And I used to be the Royal Mint Master, until the king decided to replace me.
We've got quite a bit in common, wouldn't you say?
More than you think. If my memory doesn't deceive me, you serve as a parish priest. So I recollect, at least, from my recent discussions with Martin.
Served. That's in the past.
Even so. Before King Wenceslas appointed me his mint master, I was a priest. I was even being groomed to become a bishop.
And now look at us. We have cast off our robes and merrily hatched plots against Sigismund.
There's no point in waiting for divine intervention. On the contrary, the current state of affairs demands quite a secular approach.
Do you think you might get your position as mint master back again?
I doubt it. Half the town hates Vavak, but no one would even think of saying a word against him. And he knows that his security stands and falls with his function, so he clings to it tooth and nail.
Are you going to support the Margrave's proposal?
I haven't quite decided yet. It's true that displeasure against the king is noticeably growing in Kuttenberg, but if our rebellion were to come face to face with Sigismund's army, I'd be risking my future, if not my life.
It was a pleasure to meet you.
Likewise.
Sometimes you gotta risk it for the biscuit, bro. Sometimes you gotta risk it for the biscuit.
God bless.
Jesus Christ be praised.
Jesus be praised.
Davon hätte ich gern noch mehr, bitte.
I'd like to check your horses out and see if they're as good.
Ha! Even better.
And you might not believe your... Well, well, we have a new guest.
I wanted to...
You wanted to apologize for crashing into my home without a by your leave.
I want to have a word with Older.
Well, I'm having a word with you.
Should we just be straight up and dick to this guy? Try to be respectful, maybe? I don't think there's anything to talk to him, so...
I apologize, Father.
For interrupting our conversation? Or just for being you?
Is that your...
Unfortunately. Speak up, then. What are you doing here?
We'll talk later and in private. Right now, we have more important things to attend to.
Don't try my patience.
Why so strict, Martin?
20 years ago, he was nothing but a cheeky brat, only interested in wenches and booze. I got him a place at the Archbishopric to have some sense beaten into his head. Only it wasn't long before they kicked him out. And then I find out he's settled in some backwater parish in Sassau. But he took his boozing and whoring along with him, lost everything, and then came creeping home again. Huh?
Try saying it again a little louder. They might not have heard you in the outer courtyard.
You have the impertinence to show me your face after the way you disgraced our whole family?
You're exaggerating, like you've always done.
Me? Exaggerating? You're the one who turned my home into a house of ill repute. Your whores wandering around as if they owned the place.
Oh, actually, anything fun was strictly banned under your roof. But maybe you ought to try it yourself sometime. Then maybe you wouldn't be such a bitter old grouch.
You're dishonoring your host.
I can't dishonor someone who has no honor. If you had any, you'd be...
That's enough.
Christopher.
You won't get away with those insults. I challenge you to a duel.
I'm not happy about it, but I accept. This isn't how I imagined my first meeting with my brother.
I am happy about it.
Make room for us. We'll just settle a very private matter. It's an honorable duel, man against man. Stay back. Yeah.
Oh. It didn't let me master strike that. Oh.
Sneak. Ha! Fuck you.
Cover your right side! You've got a gap there I can drive a cart through!
Si usted punieres non vam non defis.
What's wrong with your legs?
Chill, bro, chill.
You fight like an old hag! You don't know which end of that thing is up!
Oh, baby. What you got?
Stand first! Otherwise the first strike will put you on your arse!
Did they teach you that in the seminary?
Arm, not just your wrist! Look in my eyes!
That was
not
sneak.
at my sword!
Bad luck.
Did they teach you that in the seminary? Did they teach you that in the seminary?
Bad luck.
I might be old, but I'm
So
not written off.
take that.
Oh, I blocked. Old man's no Henry. Let me tell you. Nice. Nice, but...
Enough.
Oh,
That will do.
okay.
My God. Where did you learn to wield a sword like that? Father always said you were a good-for-nothing boozer. That you could teach sword fighting in a school.
Countryside is tough.
I was in a war. Right after they kicked me out of the archbishopric. And you ought to know yourself.
Considering
Not all
it
the
to be
faults
true,
that
we should
Father
say
sees
that.
are real.
Aye.
That's probably where he did learn how to use the sword.
I apologize for going off like that. I had to, so that...
So Father would be satisfied. I know. Only he'll never be satisfied.
Well, he's protecting
The sooner
his
you
honor.
realize that, the better.
I thought he was the way he was because his first son let him down. And he hoped at
Got a
least
lot to
his
learn,
second
boy.
would become something.
Not at all. I remember him the same since I was a nipper. When I was 6 years old, I fell off a horse and broke my leg. He wouldn't talk to me for a week because I'd let him down.
The first time he took me hunting, he let me starve for 3 days until I was able to shoot my first hare.
Only 3 days. He got soft.
I always wondered who you were. There was never much talk about you at home.
Look, I really did fuck up everything I could. I brawled and boozed until they threw me out of my own parish. But now, I have a chance to put things to rights a little.
And that's why you want to talk to Alder.
Aye. The outcome of this war depends on it.
That sounds very important, considering you and Alder are both pretty small players. After your encounter with Father, it won't be easy to get to Alder. Actually, I don't think you should even attempt it. Unless you want to anger Father even more.
What else can I do, though?
I'll talk to him myself. He'll hear me out for sure. But you'll have to trust me and tell me what it's all about.
All right, then. You've heard Yob's plan, right? It's a nice idea, but we can't wait around without an army to back us up.
Only no one's going to pay for one, because that would be an outright admission of rebelling against Sigismund.
Alder's got some clout with the councillors and burghers who are loyal to Sigismund. If he agrees, they'll follow.
I expect Alder's not the only one you're after.
You got that right.
Leave Alder to me. The plan sounds sensible, and he's no fool.
I don't know how to thank you.
You can drag me to a tavern sometime. Pa doesn't need to know about it.
You're starting to sound like a brother. Sir Bocek, I need to speak with you for a moment.
A man hardly puts his cup to his lips, and someone comes along to put a flea in his ear. Yobs comes up with a plan as full of holes as a beggar's shoes, and now you're all jostling to win me over for him.
On the contrary,
He's our boy.
I've come here with an idea
Unless
how
that
to
makes sense.
improve it.
Does that improvement include a few thousand men-at-arms? If not, you can go to the devil with it.
A few thousand men-at-arms as a convincing argument. And 100 horsemen on top. Only in order to get them, we need coin.
You've got my attention, but not my money yet.
Are we not on the same side?
We are, but an alliance is of no use if it doesn't also guarantee safety.
Of course. Once it comes to protecting property, ideals go out the window.
You can talk, since you haven't got a pot to piss in yourself. If you were in my position, you'd think differently. I have a lot of property, lots of subjects to look after, and along with that, the Lord blessed me with a large family. I can't risk it all in a conflict with Sigismund.
So you need guarantees that you won't be left standing in the cold if you openly oppose Sigismund?
My guarantee is called Yitka. She's my niece. If I succeeded in marrying her off to another strong house, I'll have the certainty that I won't be left alone.
Maybe it's enough to find a suitable groom among the allies.
Perhaps someone of suitable standing who Yitka would also gladly accept. I don't want her to be unhappy.
I believe Liechtenstein is single.
And an uncertain party. Besides, he's inconvenient for Sigismund. Yitka could end up being a pawn to blackmail both of us.
I'd be honored to oblige. I'm in my prime.
Forget about it. Even if by some miracle you could manage to sire children, you'd die before you could raise them.
The truth doesn't offend, my lord. But I had to give it a try. How about young Lord Cape?
Okay. Well, we tried.
He's a youngster still.
Just trying to get our boy back in the game.
Maybe you're right. I reckon he's not ready for marriage yet.
No man of any age ever is. But it's especially true for young rascals like that one.
Put me in,
On the
coach.
other hand, the lords of Lipa have a good reputation, and Hanush can always be relied on, despite his temper. Maybe it's not such a bad idea.
Trying to get our boy Godwin.
So,
back in the game, but
will you support our plan?
You're selling the skin of a boar that's still grunting. First, I want a confirmation that the wedding will take place as soon as possible.
And what if Lord Capon refuses?
I don't care what the young lord thinks. Hanush is the one to decide. If he agrees, I'll be happy to support your plan.
Pushing a friend to tie a knot to save the kingdom. Things have come to a pretty pass.
The kingdom will not forget his sacrifice. Now stop dilly-dallying and go and tell Hanush.
let's go tell Hanush.
He's nothing but a bloody...
Take a look at...
1 second here.
A nightingale. He looks more like a wet hen to me.
It's quite unusual to see him cornered like this.
I'll bet my last groschen he's setting the stage for his final performance. I hope there'll be no singing. I've had a few nightingales and they all screeched like... like the devil.
Be careful.
Nah.
Sir Hanush, I bring happy
See what he had
tidings.
to say.
You do? Let's hear it then.
Well, that's an interesting way to break the news right there.
I've gained us a powerful ally.
And who is it? I hope it's not one of those Kuttenberg stuffed guts.
On the contrary, it's Bocek, the Elder of Kunstadt and Podjebrad.
Kunstadt?
Yeah.
My Christ, he's the last one I'd have expected to step up. How the hell did you do it?
Well, there's one little catch. I had to promise him... I don't even know how to begin.
Out with it.
Lord Kunstad has a niece, so I arranged a betrothal for young Lord Capon, with your blessing if you agree.
Hans Capon is to marry Yitka of Kunstadt. Godwin, you conniving old bastard!
Oh, fuck.
I don't believe it.
Oh, fuck.
So, young Hans is to marry Kunstadt's daughter?
Yes.
If you're serious, I'll make sure that you get the Rattay parish.
Or you could make me the abbot of Sassa. Or what about a bishopric?
Forget it. Soon I'll be paying for a wedding. Not a word to Hans. I want to tell him myself. But let's drink to it, shall we?
Well, I don't think I've drank yet. So, we're changing our way. Changing our way.
I must sadly decline, sir.
I'll take that personally.
Ouch. Well, we're not the ones getting married, bro, so. Man up, Buttercup. You're still plucking away at that chicken, huh? Alright. There you go.
Burgers, patricians, and usurers. They're without honor.
We're trying to forge a...
Sir Bocek, your niece Yitka can start preparing for her wedding.
So Hanush agreed, without reservations.
Indeed.
Then I will fulfill my end of the bargain without reservation.
Thank you, Lord of Kunstad.
Enough formality. We'll have a drink. What do you say?
Thank you, but I'd rather not drink. The evening has just begun.
Good decisions, Goblin. Good and bad decisions, but...
One beer can't be possible.
Good. What else we gotta do here? Gonna take a nap yet?
Mind where you're going.
Bastard go anywhere near. I'll kill him. I will, if he so much as looks at it. I swear I won't be able to stop myself.
Couldn't she tell him to go to hell herself?
Oh, I reckon she likes having a young buck like him paying attention to her. But don't you worry,
These guys
I'll
had a weird
teach her
conversation.
a lesson too.
And what if we were to explain...
Oh, boy. What am I gonna do? What's left?
to him that he should... Mind where you're going.
Christopher.
Sir Kunzlin, I haven't yet had the pleasure.
You're Godwin, aren't you? I've heard about you from Martin.
Oh dear.
Have no fear. I know Martin well, and I know he's prone to exaggeration. Anything I can do for you?
What do you think of the rabbi's offer? The Kuttenberg Jewish community is large, and their support could change everything.
Or nothing. To be honest, I've no idea what to expect of the rabbi's offer.
He said he was interested in an alliance, though, didn't he?
Aye, but still he must be aware that whatever happens, it won't change the lot of his people.
So you don't trust him?
And isn't it natural? It's not just fate and the walls of their quarter that separates us. They live in our city, but they're more foreign than the Germans or the Hungarians.
I expect you know Lady Anna of Waldstein well.
Why wouldn't I? She's joined at the hip with my daughter Rosa.
I hope she doesn't feel unwelcome here. I've heard she's a bit of a thorn in the side for some of the gents here.
To her own relatives, certainly. But I'll tell you one thing. I knew her husband, Wenzel, and he married her out of love. And I cared for him devotedly till the day he died. And it wasn't a quick death.
So it's not true what they say?
Okay.
That his demise was convenient for her?
Vile slander. People just can't forgive her for coming into a fortune as a young widow.
Will you support Margrave Jobst's plan?
That depends on what it is. If he decides to just wait, then no. I can't take that risk any longer.
Do you think we should look for help somewhere else?
I came here for one reason alone. To hear a plan of attack against Sigismund. If Jobst doesn't lay one out before me, I'll try and find someone more courageous. God be with you.
We got something for you, buddy. Tell ya.
God be with you, noble lady.
Yeah.
There's something I'd like to ask of you.
God be with you. What would that be?
Your diplomatic support. And your money.
No beating around the bush, eh? I like that. But what do you want my money for?
Margrave Job's plan has some gaps, milady. We need to gather enough resources to...
To muster an army that Margrave can't afford on his own?
Christ. Be praised. You're astute.
I should say so. All sorts of people have their eyes on my money, and divining their intentions is a necessity. Although, between the two of us, it isn't hard to figure out what Liechtenstein is after.
Hit the nail on the head again, Mom. You're well informed.
I am rarely mistaken.
I'd say you have a better nose for people than most of this crowd.
Not only for people, but also for good food and wine. And beneficial deals.
Then you're in the right place. This occasion provides all of those things.
The wine here is average. The cooks lack imagination. And I have yet to hear any interesting offers.
Oh, I
So,
got one for you.
To the point. What is it that Liechtenstein wants from me?
Nothing more than support and resources for an army to parley more effectively with Sigismund.
Nothing more? I'd say that's plenty. And why ask me for help? Why should I, of all people, take the risk?
It's not only your money we're interested in. You're well able to negotiate and trade. And if you were to take part in our plan...
Then I'd be helpful to you on two fronts. If you want me to support you, you must give me a good reason. Perhaps a favor in return.
Do you have something in particular in mind?
Well, one of the guests here has something that shouldn't get into the wrong hands.
Who's that?
Harman Alder. Now, if you were to switch these papers for the ones he brought with him, I would support your proposal.
Have you fallen out with the town councillor?
No, no. Alder is innocent in the matter. My relatives from the House of Bartosz are behind it all. They're disappointed that I dared outlive my husband, and the fact that I'm handling his estates makes their hair stand on end.
And these papers I'm supposed to switch, what do they concern?
My relatives somehow dug up some trade contracts between myself and certain undesirable parties.
You were dealing with the enemy.
They were not the enemy at the time. My conscience is clear, but I'll rest easier when those papers are in my hands.
I'm supposed to rob an ally.
Harman Alder was given the documents to deliver to the council. He hasn't yet had a chance to look at them, so he won't even notice the difference.
Okay.
And the papers I'm supposed to plant on
Fair
Alder?
enough.
Just insignificant documents.
Seems
If the incriminating ones disappeared without a trace, it would arouse suspicion.
All right, I'll help you. Or at least I'll give it a try.
Alder will surely have the papers in his saddlebags, which he left in the shed on the outer courtyard. Bring them to me, and put these there instead.
Thanks.
But watch yourself. Odorin's groom has eyes everywhere.
Does he? I was trying to be sneaky, but I can't get out backwards, bro.
Take a look at that. A nightingale surrounded by hawks.
Excuse me, ladies. This just doesn't get dirty. It just doesn't get dirty, you know? What are we gonna do? Oh, it's in that room over there.
Huh?
I'm definitely not allowed in there.
Greetings. What do you need?
You need to get in there.
Aren't you a bit bored?
What's your problem? The horses are fed and watered. I'm not idle.
God forbid. But standing around here must be a pain in the arse, no? You might get thirsty.
Not really.
Would you
What of it?
take a little stroll, right? I don't have it.
I left something behind in the shed, and now I need it. So, would you let me in?
Is that so? And what are you after there?
Wine. For Alderman Alder.
Wine? Like there's not rivers of the stuff all around here. Stop drinking and don't bother me. And if I see you creeping around this shed, you'll answer to me.
Uh-oh. That's not
You'd
good.
better go.
Now we're gonna have to throw punch him. Where? How long is he gonna be over there? How do I just knock you out?
I just need to get something from the shed. You know what? Take this here. And you saw nothing, all right?
And what's there to see?
Not a sausage.
Take care for now.
Not a sausage. No sausages. Goodbye. Anything else in here that I can see? That's helpful for nothing. Thank you, sir. You're very kind. What else am I supposed to be doing here? She's upstairs.
I've got those papers from Alder for you.
Quiet! You don't have to announce it to everyone.
Lady,
Hey, go
with all
for
the
the
clamor
papers
going
right
on
now.
here, I can hardly hear my own thoughts. Here they are.
You're more capable than I expected. Thanks for the help.
The
You're
hell
welcome.
you mean?
And now you're part of the bargain.
As agreed. I will support Liechtenstein's proposal with both words and money.
Hells yeah, lady.
God will.
Yes, quite. But let's drink to our bargain.
Have mercy. Come on, lady.
I'd like to, but I'm afraid I've had more than my fill
I
already.
got more bribing to do.
I wouldn't want to cause a scandal.
Wise. No matter, I shall drink a toast alone. But to your health.
Oh, I get my reputation lost. It's lost every time I do that. I ain't too worried about it. It's just Godwin.
I'm still hoping it works out and we walk out of here with a clear plan. But maybe you were right. It was probably not the best idea to gather all the lords under one roof.
At other times, I would celebrate hearing you admit a mistake, Margrave. But if I were you, I wouldn't lose faith just yet.
Gentlemen, I think we can raise our goblets to the successful conclusion of the negotiations.
Is this supposed to be your secret weapon?
Like I said, miracles happen where you least expect them. Tell me, Godwin of the House of Odorin, what news do you bring us?
I bring nothing from the House of Odorin. But the widow of Waldstein and Sir Bocek of Kunstadt will support our cause.
Both of them? Good heavens, what did you promise them?
This is going to be a long story, and I could use a drink. So
Why
if
did I
you'll
only get
excuse me,
two? Wait.
my lords?
Whatever.
It would seem that we have all benefited from the break in these proceedings. New alliances have been formed. And I have also changed my plans. We shall still wait for Sigismund to withdraw his troops of his own accord. But we will wait with an army at our backs.
Yes! And how are we to raise an army? Wasn't it made clear at the meeting that no one wants to take the risk?
The only thing made clear was that each of us alone is weak, and that we could not find common ground. But that has now changed.
King Wenceslas is, by the will of God, the Balbatim of all his subjects. Not only the Christians, our community, and not only ours, will give you coin.
The Kuttenberg houses are still loyal to King Wenceslas, and we stand with Lord Ruthard.
And if that's not enough, the houses of Leipa and Kunstadt will unite and march side by side.
My niece, Yitka, will take young Lord Capon as her husband.
Oh. Oh, man.
Lords Kunstadt, Hanush, Radzig, and I will set out immediately. God willing, we will be back within 3 weeks, along with an army.
Now those are words worthy of a nobleman.
My friend, I still believe that words are more powerful than swords. And our words will ring in 1,000 voices to the glory of King Wenceslas.
He was going to tell him. He did not tell him. Oh, shit. Now what? More Godwin action. No. Back to Henry, but not much better situation here. We still doing wine?
After we conquered the city, you promised to restore order immediately. And then I find out things are even more disordered than before.
Your Majesty, We are sorry. We will put it to rights.
You've already said that. I want to hear real solutions.
We will put more guards on the roads and toughen penalties. We can have a few captured bandits executed as an example to others.
We do not care about bandits. We care about rebellious nobles and burghers. What will you do with them? How will you solve the chaos in the town administration, the rebellious miners, and the dismal yields? And how is it even possible that a rebellion against the king is smoldering here in the city?
What do you mean, sire?
I'm coming from the Jewish quarter, from right under your noses. Why haven't you done anything?
We don't know who is behind this. Without evidence, we cannot punish them.
Otto von Berghoff did not ask questions in Prague either. He acted. And I advise you to do the same. Find a couple of wretches in a hole somewhere, point them to the Jewish quarter, and give them free rein to do anything. The city's Jewish community was and still is on Wencesla's side. They need a warning.
We do not even have enough men to...
Marquardt, could you spare a few men for a while?
Of course, sire. I'll assign them to Eric. He'll take care of it.
So you see, all you have to do is make sure the city rebel get their share. You could at least manage that, couldn't you? And if the thought should cross your minds that you would get rid of the debts to the Jewish moneylenders this way, forget about it. Your debts will remain, up to the last groschen. Only now you owe us directly. And while we are on the subject of money, has the yield from the mines finally matched last year's?
Sire, the deposits are dwindling, and mining is becoming increasingly difficult. And to make matters worse, the miners started rebelling.
Don't take us for a fool. They'll stop rebelling when you pay them proper wages.
Your Majesty, we can't do that.
Silence! How dare you oppose the kingdom's protector? You're a bunch of incompetent sycophants. Chicken shits. Not any better than the scum hiding in the forest.
And drunks! Give them hell! Lazy fools, the lot of them.
How dare you?
Some of you are even swelling right here in the city council meeting. This is unbelievable.
Remove this swill pot from the hall immediately.
I'm telling the truth. This whole council is a farce. The whole city knows it.
Lord of Sargitz, your insolence just cost you your place on the council, and a month in the dungeon.
But...
Hopefully that'll be enough for him to sober up. And if not, put him in the pillory for a while, bailiff.
I'll see to it as soon as the council is over, Your Majesty.
All I hear from you over and over again are excuses and prevarication. And results? None. I therefore place the city council under the authority of Sir Marquardt von Aulitz, who is present here, with immediate effect. He will make sure you finally do your duty.
But, sire, that would be a violation of the privileges granted to us as a free mining town.
Silence! I am the only guarantor of your rights. You have to earn your privileges, not hide behind them. During my brother's reign, this idleness was perhaps tolerated. But that is over now. You were given a few simple tasks. But instead of working on them, you idled in the baths and lined your pockets. And let the traitors cast their nets undisturbed. But unlike my brother, I am capable of creating order. And I assure you, I do not distinguish between those who stand in my way. Be they beggars, noblemen, or city councillors. You have 2 weeks to restore order in the city and increase mining output. I want clear results, and you answer only to me and Sir Marquardt von Aulitz now. No one else. The council is dismissed. You, don't go anywhere, boy. Be so kind and remain here. Our throat has become rather dry. And we still wish to speak with our friend von Aulitz.
Yes, sire. As you wish, sire.
Between the two of us, Margaret, was I not perhaps too harsh on them? And speak candidly, we have had enough of false flattery.
Sire, you were harsh, but rightfully so. These councillors, they need to be shown their place. You suffered their insolence for far too long. And the same is true of the Jews.
We know. Otto repeated to us several times that it is time to strike against them. We are glad he's not here. He would be intolerably self-satisfied if he knew we had heeded him.
Boy, can't you see the King's cup is empty?
You tend to us as if we were infirm. Boy, pour us a monastic wine. The monks had a good year. We have concerns, friend. The Hungarians are rebelling. Our army is falling apart, and we have enemies here on all sides. Would we had a proper army instead of human mercenaries. They cannot be relied upon. And we are no closer to our goal now than a few months ago. Thank you. It is a good year. If our father were still alive, he would have been astonished by the mess that a few years of Wenceslas' reign brought to us. With a single word, he would have put the nobility in their place, and the country would flourish. God grant him eternal glory.
We won't need much more time. We'll arrest the traitor Odorin, and the rest will fall in line.
You say the others will be brought into line, but what do you know of them? We know only a few of them. But there's a fortress standing on every damn hill here. What side are their lords on?
We'll find out soon enough, sire.
If only Wenceslas were not such a stubborn ass, and relinquished that throne that he has no use for anyway. The nobility, on the other hand, found a ruler like him very useful. They made a puppet out of him.
Once you restore order, they'll join you. All you have to do is promise them the privileges they lost during Wenceslas' reign.
First, they'd have to be willing to make peace at least among themselves. Jobs does everything he can to sow chaos, so that he himself emerges victorious in the end. This business makes me thirsty. Pour me some of that red, boy.
I think Jobski's just waiting for the right moment. He'll switch sides when it suits him.
Maybe. But first I'll have to conquer a few more cities, and get a couple more lords on my side. Then they take the threat of war seriously. And Hungary. If Bohemia is a wasp nest, then Hungary is a viper's lair.
You will follow in his footsteps, sire, as soon as you get the chance.
But the wine is to your health, Margaret. And to your health too, boy. May your children grow in a land ruled by a good king.
Thank you, sire. You are too magnanimous.
Why? You did a good job. You can be proud of yourself.
To your health, Your Majesty.
First, we need to crack down on the biggest troublemakers.
We're working on it. While the consul was meeting, Otto von Berghoff and his men set out for Raposh. Odorin won't give you any more trouble.
He and Ruthard are in it together. Once we get Odorin, we can handle Ruthard easily. Rabosh will be yours. After all, Otto has already got Malishov.
I appreciate your confidence, sire.
But the devil knows there are a lot more strongholds to conquer here.
For the king, red wine, boy.
No, we shall have white. We have had enough of red.
White it is. Quickly.
Yeah, I knew it.
Others will follow.
I think von Berghoff's little contraption will find its use again.
If need be.
I got
Use it to raise this town hall too.
I got you.
I have some suggestions for other candidates.
Not so fast, my friend. It's a wondrous tool, but we can't rely on it
Thought he was
forever.
talking to me. It's like, geez, I gotta get out of here.
The square and pointing
Here
at
you
the
go.
city hall. Those sycophants.
The councillors are quite fearful enough
Where are you
already
going?
that they can
Mind your own business.
Okay.
There's been enough fretting, sire. You shall see. Soon we will drink to the conquest of another fortress.
You are right. So then, to victory. And you, boy, will you drink with us? So that you shall have something to tell your children and grandchildren.
No, sire. It would be inappropriate for me to drink with you. I apologize.
As you wish. To your health, Marquardt. And to our upcoming victory.
Oh boy.
Now we close our doors for the evening. People here know what to do. There'll be plenty more tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday.
And then you will wake up in a ditch somewhere with a mighty hangover.
I am not drunk.
Oh
But,
my god,
fr-
man.
How'd you like a wine, Chevalier?
The art of winemaking has a long tradition in La Belle France. Recipes are passed on from father to son, and each generation brings them to perfection. I myself was practically raised on wine. How many I have tasted? Even the French royal court took note of my refined taste. The king himself had wine delivered for his table according to my advice.
That's quite impressive.
I expect his lordship had the best barrels rolled out. Now, if you'd only known he had a real connoisseur.
Best barrels! Mon ami, this wine would perhaps be suited to the infirmary, where it would suffice for cleaning wounds and easing pain. For that, the taste is of little consequence.
I'm filled with grease. The roast was calling out.
Stultorem mater, sempiter gravida.
You in need of something, my well-oiled friend.
I'd like to drink a toast with you to our joint success. As they say, all's well that ends well. So, to brighter tomorrows.
Touching.
Come now. What's become of your poetic soul?
I never had one.
Truly? Not even a little?
Not a bit. I'm just a cynical old pragmatist.
In that case, in quite simple and pragmatic terms, the wine has run out.
I've got a tongue like a slice of week-old bread after all that gabbing.
Well, get something wet for us then.
His lordship is so unsteady on his legs, he can't make it as far as the keg.
To hell with that keg slop. Your father surely has something better stored away. I had my eye on him all evening. He had pictures brought from somewhere for himself and his closest friends, and left the rest of us to drink cheap dregs. Try and find one of those pictures for us, eh? I'm sure you can manage that.
You can bet on it. I've got a nose for booze.
I don't doubt it. Get sniffing quick.
Oh boy. Let's figure this. What do we got?
Well, you're not in France now. Here, nobody knows you. Quite a farcical beginning. Yet another is calling out to me, begging to be eaten. I couldn't resist either.
On around it.
What does it matter? We reached an agreement, but it's going to take time.
I wouldn't despair just that. Be married. What do you say? Get out. I'm filled with grief. The roast was calling out to me, begging to be eaten.
Even better. It's not bad at all.
Yeah, they need some beer.
Greetings.
Sorry, I don't want to interrupt. But are you busy?
What do you think? A fortress full of hungry mouths and half of them noble lords accustomed to all kinds of debauchery.
I haven't eaten so well.
He didn't have to choose me. My old ma spent her whole life in this kitchen, and my grandmother before her. God rest them both.
Wait, you're Kavietta's daughter, Madlenka.
It's been a long time since anyone has called me by that name. I was afraid you'd forgotten me.
Do you think I could ever forget you? Come on.
Ah, stop it. Even as a young lordling, you were bringing girls here from all over the county. I was just convenient for you, because the kitchen was just a few steps away.
Oh, come on. I also chased that dolt from the stables away from you. Or have you forgotten?
Cooper? How could I? When your father sent you away, I found out that dolt wasn't so bad. I ended up marrying him.
You haven't changed at all.
But I have. And you've changed too. You left a haughty young pup, and now you return...
An old dog.
Not at all. The years have been kind to you.
Why don't we go somewhere together? Somewhere private. And...
You dog.
Reminisce about the old days.
You really haven't changed at all. You ought go and have a drink and stop chasing girls. I mean, it's embarrassing at your age.
Where might I find the really good wine here?
Why? You don't like the stuff from the kegs?
It's not for me. One of the distinguished guests asked for it.
Aha. If you go down the cellar stairs, you'll see the pictures lined up on the table. It's Lord Odorin's best. He's drunk plenty of it himself today.
Down the stairs.
Bread'll be good, I hope.
There's fur.
Stultorem mater, sempiter gravida. Was die Maiden in her pew?
Now there's a piece of horseflesh for you, Rudart. Not like that nag of yours.
What the hell do you feed it with? It looks more like a damn bull.
Sir! Sir! There's some horsemen right out front of the fortress.
Ah, that's Peter of Pisac. Wouldn't come to the council, but he is coming happily to the celebration, you old fox.
Close that fucking gate.
Come on in, sir. There's wine aplenty.
Oh. Oh,
Hey! Hey! Intruders! Enemies at the gates!
Seize the nobles! Kill the rest!
Go, guys.
Jesus! The surrounding... Can't make it. He's had it!
Now you're my...
I'm going to pay you! Bash him on the head! Hold your ground! Get him! Smash your face!
Drive those horses out! Hey, what's that? Right on the arm.
Oh.
You won't be able to take another one like that.
Oh. No. I'm definitely not Henry. We gotta chill. Said something about my hand cannon take damage. Does he have a hand cannon on? I'll blow some people apart. Probably some friendly fire there if I have one. We'll try. I used it once in the other training. That was straightforward. Be right back. Putting me in a frozen spot. Kind of strange. Music's not really changing either. It's good. Oh, calm down. Music, calm down. It's a good sign. I feel like because it was in the middle of battle, it doesn't like that. At least mine. My game doesn't like that. Alright, guys. So we're probably gonna get the line again. We're doing it again. What do we gotta do? What's going on here? Where is he? He's gone. Dead. Ghost. Oh man, we're bugged. Oh Nelly. Come on, let me have it. Hello. Let me have it. What the crap? Huh. This isn't working for me though. Okay. if that doesn't work, I might have to close the game. I'm on PS5, so that means I'll have to end the stream. But it'll start back up in a few minutes if it does. Like I said, I plan on pretty much playing all night. So. It's 10:20 here. PM. That's, I don't think I've seen that picture. I've seen that one nice. Last one. We'll see. Are we bugged? If you could at least just get me back to the main menu, that'd probably make it better.
Hunger, poverty, and plague, it's too much for a man to take. Even men of faith are cowering, faced by evil overpowered.
You know, that's pretty wild. I'm not in combat. I'm just not in combat. Oh boy, oh boy. Yeah. Let's try it one more time. I'll have to probably restart it. It's kind of weird that it's not coming out of it even after loading a game. But
Stultorem mater, sempiter gravida.
yeah, it doesn't really let me move or anything. Huh. Alright then. Oh guys. Alright. I'm gonna end it there. Well, not really. But the stream's gonna end. Just look for it to start back up in the next, I don't know, 5-10 minutes, so something. So I gotta close this out. restart everything, see why the game's gotta be weird. Alright. That. Just wait for the notification to come back up. Back in a little bit.